Two-period shots on goal totals Boston 17 and Toronto 13. During the intermission here between the second and third periods, John Pearson talks with King Clancy, and Red Sox broadcaster Dick Stockton talks with Carl Yastrzemski. Here's John Pearson.
Well, King, we've got you in the penalty box where I think some Boston's fans would like to keep you.
Johnny, I've been in here many times in my career, and tonight, this is an old-time game. This is the best hockey game that I've seen this winter, and I've seen them all. I mean, all our team played. I've seen Boston play. This has got to be the toughest, hardest game that we've played this year, and I think perhaps it's the same with Boston. And I want to give Boston a lot of credit because Cherry and Sinden, they've done a terrific job with this hockey club, because on paper, they don't look like the hockey club that they are. They're a great hockey club. They're a tough hockey club. When they get you in the corners, they don't let you out.
King, a lot of people knocking the game of hockey over the past couple of years. You've been around in many years. I'm not going to tell the people just how many. In your estimation, is some of the opinions true, or is this game strong? Has it got some problems?
I don't think there are too many problems, John, because to me, this kind of hockey is back when you played with this hockey club in here. And I want to say the league hasn't gone back one iota, but we have a couple of weak teams, but every now and again they come up big. So the hockey to me is just as good today, better than it has been years ago.
How about the Leafs' performance, King, so far this season? They've done a lot better than I thought they might, a lot better than a lot of people thought they might.
Johnny, I think when we get in the playoffs, I think we're going to be the team to beat. I'd like to come back here to Boston for a series with them, and this would be really something. We'd pack this place because Toronto always draws well in here, and this kind of a hockey team that we got, we're not finished yet, you know. In another couple of years, we'll have a couple of more young guys.
I don't know if I can stand the pressure, King.
Well, it's a great game. You can stand it. You've been all through this.
Well, it's been a tough 2 periods, King.
Really tough. I wouldn't want to be out there, John.
I really wouldn't.
Taking those belts they've taken tonight. Both teams have hit hard, but it's a cleanly played game. They've had a few fights. Watch this. This is all in the game. You have a few fights here and there, and this is what draws the people back. They can say what they like, you know. People don't want fights. 9 out of 10, I'm one of them. 9 out of 10 want to see a little action, and they're getting it tonight.
King, I'm going to put you right on the spot. You look great. I've never seen you look so well, and you're really in fine fettle. But let me ask you a question. When did you play your first game in the National Hockey League? What year? Can you remember back?
I played my first game in 1921 with the Ottawa Senators.
That's a great lousy trick, isn't it?
Well,
King?
yeah, no, that's all right, John. But, you know, I had a birthday the other day. I'm 75. I've been in the National Hockey League for 58 years doing something. I'm not doing much now, but I used to come in here a lot as a player. I came in here as a referee, and I loved it.
King, I want to thank you very much. As always, it's a pleasure chatting with you.
Thanks very much, John. It's a pleasure being back here in Boston to meet a lot of my own friends, including yourself.
King Clancy, the assistant general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs, has been our guest here at the end of the second period, and now to Tom Larson.
Some guy. Guests appearing on our Bruins Intermission program receive a 12-inch portable black and white TV from Magnavox. The picture adjusts automatically to room brightness, so you get a crisp, clear picture all the time. Here's a schedule of games that we'll be televising this week. Tomorrow night, the New York Islanders, the leaders in their division, play their closest pursuers, the Philadelphia Flyers. That's at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. Starting time, 8 o'clock for the NHL 78 telecast tomorrow. The Bruins are in Cleveland for an 8 o'clock game Tuesday, back home Thursday night against the Blackhawks. And next Sunday at this time, we'll be watching the Bruins against the Montreal Canadiens at Boston Garden. Dick Stockton talks with Carl Yastrzemski. Next on our intermission program, we're at the end of 2 periods. Boston 3, Toronto 2.
You can take away my drummer, take away the bass. You can take away my guitar picker and close down the place. You can take away my keyboard, I can swing it night all day. Just please don't take my gusto away.
If you don't have slicks, you don't have gusto.
And brother, you don't have beer.
If you think flying to Florida should be fun, we're playing your song. Delta Airlines is serving champagne in Tourist on every nonstop to Florida. We have 6 nonstops a day to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and 3 to Tampa. Night coach fares, Miami-Fort Lauderdale, $100, Tampa, $96. Pour yourself a happy trip.
Delta is ready when you are.
Little pies for little guys. Hungry Man is more my size. Swanson Hungry Man meat pies. Big pies for big guys. Right, Rosie?
You said it, Dad.
A whole pound of pie with more than twice as much meat as regular pot pie. And chunks of meat a man can sink his teeth into. You got a big guy? Give him a big pie. Hungry Man meat pies from Swanson. Chicken, turkey, or beef. They're my size.
First place in the Adams division is at stake as the Toronto Maple Leafs head into town for a showdown. Watch Darryl Sittler and goalie Mike Palmetier as they try to stop Terry O'Reilly, Peter McNabb, and rookie Bob Minter. Stay with TV 38 Sunday at 7:30 and catch all the exciting Bruins action.
The Red Sox have been at work in Winter Haven for a couple of weeks now, and opening day for their season is April the 7th. Our first of 4 spring training telecasts is next Saturday afternoon, and that's at 1:30 when the Red Sox will face the White Sox. We'll offer the full 4-game schedule here in just a moment, but right now here's Dick Stockton with Carl Yastrzemski.
If you want to get a true assessment on what the Red Sox are doing, a guy who's been around long enough and really levels with you is Carl Yastrzemski. And you're back for another season. I'd like to know, honestly, your feelings on what you think the Red Sox can do.
Well, last year I said that the Yankees were the team to beat, and if we played excellent baseball, we'd have a chance. I think it was an exciting season. They had a little too much for us. This year I'm very optimistic. I think that by adding Torres, Drago, and Bergmeyer, along with Remy, that we now have a chance to beat the Yankees, and I'm much more optimistic that we can beat them than I was last year, and we only lost by 2 games.
What about getting off to that good start? Is it important? Last year, Red Sox lost their first 4 games, but still managed to win 97. Is it important to get off to a good start, really?
It's always important to get off to a good start because they mean as much as the games do in September. I think the big thing which hurt us last year is the 2 long losing streaks. You have to win a lot of games in order to make up losing, 9 in a row, 13 in a row, what we did. If someone would have said that we'd have lost 9 games in a row before the season started last year, I would never have believed it.
That's where pitching comes in, though, right? The stopper?
Well, I think last year, I know the pitching took a lot of abuse. We had some good pitch games, and we also had some games which everything didn't gel. I think that's what causes the losing streak. I think with Torres, definitely Tiant will bounce back, have an excellent year this year. Bill Lee is throwing the ball great down here in spring training, very loose, and he's throwing as hard as he did 2-3 years ago. I think our rotation is going to be excellent. Our balance in the bullpen is going to be good. And I think the most important thing is that we will have Dwight Evans back this year. Everyone talked about the pitching last year. I think the big thing which hurt us last year was missing Dwight Evans for 2 months. I think you can miss a regular ball player for 2 weeks, 3 weeks maybe. Someone will come in and do the job, fill in, but you can't miss an everyday ball player of Evans' talent for 2 months and not get hurt by it.
Carl, can the fans necessarily anticipate the same kind of numbers and home runs and RBIs? That was an unusual year, power-wise.
I think it was, Dick. We have a lot of ball players that can hit home runs, almost everyone in the lineup. Whether we will hit as many as we did last year, I don't know. First time in 17 years at Fenway Park in April and May did I ever see the wind blow out every day. Usually you have a northeaster wind coming in, blowing in from right field, and that changes that whole ballpark around. When the wind blows in, it's very difficult to hit a home run. But when the wind is blowing out, it's very easy. And as I said, I never saw the wind blow out as much as it did last year in Fenway Park, and I think that was maybe one of the reasons why we hit so many home runs.
Last thing, every time you step on the field, you approach another record, and you have surpassed some of the great names in baseball. Any goals that you set for yourself? I know that the one thing you want, of course, is world championship. Anything personally?
Well, I really don't think about it because I think that adds more pressure to the individual when you start worrying about hitting certain goals. I've always felt the most easiest way to relax is just to go out and try to win a ball game and help the team whatever way possible. Then all of a sudden everything seems to fall in line. When you say you're going to go out and drive in 100 runs and hit so many home runs and bat such and such an average, I think it puts too much pressure on an individual. Just try in every way possible to help the Red Sox to win, and usually your goals will fall in place.
Okay, and our first exhibition telecast is next Saturday afternoon at 1:30, and it matches the Red Sox and the White Sox. The others will have the Red Sox against the Mets on Thursday, March 30th, against the Atlanta Braves on Sunday, April 2nd, and the Pittsburgh Pirates on Tuesday, April the 4th. All four of those games start at 1:30. Back to hockey, where at the end of two periods at Boston Garden, the score is Boston 3, Toronto 2. We'll be back to recap the game to this point right after this.
Signore, with all those fantastic Italian sports cars, why did you buy a Volkswagen Scirocco?
È la più bella macchina mai vista. Meravigliosa, fantastica.
We can see it's beautiful, but what makes a Scirocco so great?
L'andatura, la velocità, la maneggiabilità.
Ah, the speed, the handling, the performance. That's why you bought a Volkswagen Scirocco.
Volkswagen does it again.
I'm Tom Russell, reminding you that the new Big Money game gives you a new $1 million TV game every week, and you could get your chance at $1 million by matching just one digit. That's what June Lewis of Wendell Depot did. On February 22nd, just 3 weeks after the start of the new game, she became our first new Big Money game millionaire. She won $50,000 a year for 20 years. You could win, too. Just play the new Big Money game with a new $1 million game every week.
Come on and taste a real good time at Valley's. Come on and bring the family down to Valley's. It doesn't cost a lot to taste the best we've got. Everything's fresh here. The menu's the best here. Come on and taste a real good time at Valley's.
Valley's at Andover, Saugus, Braintree, and Newton. Also in Kittery, Maine.
Where do you go for good old service when you need a mortgage or when you need a loan? Where do you go for good old savings where you know you'll feel at home? Well, the Boston 5-cent Savings Bank is the place in good old Boston. The Boston 5-cent Savings Bank for good old Boston.
All right, start of third period action. Let's go back now to Fred Cusick and John Pearson.
Centering Maloney left and Kurt Walker on the right wing side. Milbury plays it up to McNabb. He's checked and Saming. Right back. Jones broken up by Park. O'Reilly breaks up the right side. Good break here with McNabb. Closing to McNabb in the middle. A shot just over the net. Oh, O'Reilly set him up beautifully. Behind the net, Saming trying to move it out. Up for Maloney. Out to Jones. Jones plays it in the Boston zone. Park there. Checked. Walker. Checked. Down goes O'Reilly and Walker. McNabb back to get it. Somebody lost a stick. McNabb breaks it out. Milbury is up. Off to Wensink. Breaking in. The shot. Save Palmatier. Wensink fights for the rebound. In front. McNabb scores! Peter McNabb from John Wensink as the big left winger made a heavy shot on Palmatier. Got the rebound. And McNabb's 35th of the year makes it 4-2.
Well, the good pass here by McNabb starts the confusion right here in the Toronto end. A big stop by Palmatier, but the Toronto Maple Leafs are running around. And watch McNabb right in front. And he farted underneath Palmatier, not picked up by any Leaf. And Peter McNabb, who's really moving through that blue line area of the opposition, set that play up beautifully. Wensink with a nice centering pass, and it's now 4-2 Boston.
Well, Wensink has a goal and an assist. The lead pass to Marcotte. He's breaking in left side. Tough angle shot. Short side save Palmatier, and he covers up. A lot of credit to Wensink, John. He's got a heavy shot, that hard one.
Well, nice little pass here, or good shot rather by Wensink to start with, and now he's going to be in there. He makes the stop, and then he just flips it out in front. He really is not looking for McNabb or anybody. He just figures that maybe somebody will be parked in front. That's sort of one of those plays that every now and then works. Sometimes it doesn't, but McNabb was uncovered in front.
Rick Smith, a screen shot kicked out by Palmatier. Williams trying to come back. Check. And O'Brien breaks it up. For Shepard, it rolls for Ferguson. Now Shepard to Marcotte. Played back, stopped by Turnbull, and Toronto is offside on the play. So O'Reilly's breakthrough, set up by McNabb and O'Brien late in that second period at 17:29, made it 3-2, and McNabb here, who has figured in 3 of the 4 goals. Wensink 1 assist, the time 45 seconds here in the third period. Cashman out of the game, and so Bob Miller is at left wing now with Rattel and Middleton. Don Cherry shaking up the lines a bit. Rick Smith, the lead pass. Rattel hustles in, Palmatier out, clearing it, not out. Turnbull, Rattel battle. And Turnbull is pinned and a face-off called. Glennie, of course, was thrown out early in the game, third man in, so both teams missing key personnel in Brian Glennie, defenseman Toronto, and Wayne Cashman, the Bruins captain. Shepard line comes out against Sittler's line.
One other note on the gross misconduct penalty in the rule book. It can be handed out by the referee for almost anything involving something that really is not part of the game of hockey. Most of the time it's created by situations where fights occur, and then one player says something or does something that the referee deems to be under that rule.
Turnbull away to Ferguson. He breaks up the middle. A lead pass now to Butler, and Butler is offside. And a good thing for Boston he was really on the move at right wing. That's George Ferguson out of the Toronto Marlboros junior hockey team. What they term in hockey a tramper. He stomps up and down. Doesn't do much in scoring, but he stayed up with the team. O'Reilly also assists on the goal. O'Reilly and Wensink assists for McNabb's goal that made it 4-2. Bruins earlier had a 2-goal lead, but we're in the third period now. And Rick Smith, a shot. The screen misses short side. At the other side, O'Brien keeps it in. Turnbull trying to move it out. Middleton intercepts, lost it. Hustles back, got it, but Sittler gets it now. Sittler, weaving, is broken up. Rick Smith, the clear in. Bob Miller playing left wing, hustles in. Is taken off the play by Turnbull and Johansson. Away to Sittler. Sittler to Maloney. To McDonald. Broken up. Puck kept in by the Leafs. Bouncing. McDonald centered it. And off the boards. Middleton out with Miller. Park coming up too. Middleton goes for the shot. And a save by Palmatier. 4-2 the Bruins lead. Dan Maloney starts it out. Broken up by Marcotte. Mike Pellick rushes. The clear in. Long rebound. Sittler pokes it in deep. Maloney behind the net. Checked. It rolls out for Middleton. Can't clear it. Shepard digs it away. Breaks now. Picking up Marcotte. Off to Marcotte. Marcotte wheeling. Moving in. Still in. A shot blocked by Salming. And McDonald starts it away. Checked by Marcotte. And Jonathan. Jonathan and Maloney battling. Now Shepard on it. And it's poked up to Sittler. Sittler, a shot in, kicked out by Graham. And Mike Milbury has the rebound. Out to Marcotte. Off for Shepard. Fed back in. Marcotte and Salming go in deep. Marcotte after it, has it. Checked. Battles. Rolls it around the other side, and Mike Milbury moves in to keep it in. Again around to Marcotte. Marcotte out to Jonathan. And he hit it on the goal, and it's blocked. Rebound in front as Marcotte slams down Salming to the ice with some solid hitting. Maloney intercepted. Marcotte shot and a save. Maloney gave it to Marcotte as the Bruins had glittering chances to add to their lead. Park with it now. Long pass center ice stopped by Salming. Salming to Williams. Can't cut through. Broken up by Park. To McNabb with Jonathan. To Jonathan over the line. Moving. The shot. Scores! Stan Jonathan barreling in. He's had fights. He's had battles. And he's in a scoring streak. His 9th goal in the month of March. And Jonathan makes it 5-2.
Well, Stan Jonathan with a half wrist, half slap. Now you'll notice how short he takes the backswing on the slap shot. That's sort of a half wrist, half slap shot, and he just whistled it by Palmatier. Actually, Mike Palmatier looked pretty well set. He looked like he was up at the top, but that little sort of half wrist, half slap shot, not the big wind-up. Palmatier may have been just a little bit leery of where that puck was going, and Jonathan beat him.
And McNabb figured in that one. He's figured in 4 of the 5 goals. And left point, Rick Smith keeping it in. It's kicked away by Ellis, taken by O'Brien to O'Reilly. Off for Wensink, he can't get it. Ellis trying to move. Now Turnbull, too far ahead of Williams. Williams and O'Brien go in deep. And no icing, they say. The Leafs keep it in. Weir back to Johansson. A pass in front to Ellis, just checked by Rick Smith. There was an open net for him for a moment. Weir trying to center it is checked by O'Brien. Up for Wensink, who's turned a strong game. To O'Reilly, barreling ahead. Falls down, the puck cleared out. O'Brien has it to Rick Smith. And fed right back in. O'Reilly in the forecheck on Turnbull. Wensink forechecks. Ellis trying to come out. Turnbull checked by Rattel. Sweeps it away. Down wide of Graham. And with this break in the action, let's pause for this message.
Listen to what people are saying about their home video recorders.
Mine records only 2 hours per cassette.
There's a better one. It offers up to 4 hours. Magnavox.
I paid extra for a separate timer.
Magnavox comes with a timer built in.
Can't edit by remote control.
With the better one, you can.
Costly cassettes.
More tape for your money with the Magnavox home video cassette recorder. The better one. New from Magnavox.
Well, too far out normally to expect a player to score from this angle, but Jonathan, off his back foot, whistled one by Palmatier. Palmatier must have taken his eye off it for a moment on the way through, because it was not that hard a shot, but very well placed.
5th goal in 4 games, 9th goal in the month of March for Stan Jonathan as Boston. Rattel gets it over the line off for Middleton. Middleton off for Miller. Miller, shot, save Palmatier. Bob Miller didn't get good wood on it, as the Bruins are really breezing here. And Peter McNabb, with 4 points tonight, now has 72 on the season, with a goal and 3 assists.
I wonder if the battling all through the first 2 periods has not worn the Leafs down a little bit, Fred. Boston seems to be now taking charge.
And Rattel off for Middleton. He's in. Scores! Rick Middleton from John Rattel. As Rattel got the faceoff over to him. And Rick Middleton gets number 20 for him to make it 6-2.
Well, this is the goal scorer in Rick Middleton. A nice pass by Rattel, but watch when Palmatier goes down. Rick Middleton pulls the trigger and goes upstairs. Now, that's a great play. He put that right under the crossbar. Palmatier had the lower part of the net covered, but Middleton with his head up, and he just gave it a little flick of the wrist. And up in that top corner, and it's now 6-2 Boston.
Ron Graham gets the puck in the Boston end around, looking for Marcotte. He's checked, but Shepard gets it outside. And Turnbull there, checked. Shepard, and it's pinned. And from Boston Garden, the score, Boston 6 and Toronto 2.
People are saying we Pontiac dealers are going out of our birds. With foreign car prices sky high, how can we sell this hot little Sunbird for $34.56? Well, we told you this is Pontiac's best year yet for deals. In fact, right now, we're taking that Sunbird price and knocking it down again to under $34.56, under $34.56 for one of the hottest Pontiacs of the year. But prices are bouncing back after April 8th. So get on over and price our Pontiacs now, because these birds are going to fly.
Play on at center ice. O'Brien over to Rick Smith. He's checked, but now gets it up to Marcotte. And Turnbull with it for the Leafs. Goals by McNabb from Wensink and O'Reilly after 45 seconds. Jonathan from McNabb and Park, and then Middleton from Rattel at 5:24. Puck in the corner. Jonathan in after it. In front to Shepard. He overskated it. Would have been alone in front. Back comes Sittler. Sittler checked by O'Brien to Rick Smith. And the puck is cleared away. Rattel and Miller get assists on that last goal. Here's Marcotte checking Johansson as the Bruins break it open with 3. And O'Brien keeping it in. It goes to Marcotte, into O'Reilly. To Marcotte, and he abandoned the shot. O'Reilly passed up a clear-cut chance. And back comes Turnbull. Turnbull checked by O'Brien and ridden off. Just what Cherry wants O'Brien to do. Play the man. And back comes O'Reilly. O'Reilly trying to move in, broken up by Salming. To McDonald. McDonald a shot blocked by Rick Smith, goes high in the corner. Wensink there, digs it free and starts it back to O'Reilly. Flipped it out to center ice. Cleared away with it, McNabb. Offside, John Wensink, who is cruising up and down that left wing and really barreling with this break in the action. Let's pause for this message.
This is Fred Cusick for Eastern Airlines. If the right place for you is Washington or Houston, Eastern has the right time for you. 6 non-stops to Washington National Airport are conveniently scheduled from early morning to evening, and 6 non-stops back make it just as easy to return. To Houston, Eastern gives you the only wide-body movie flight. Just sit back, relax, and watch the show. There's a small charge for headsets and coach. So if you're flying to Washington or Houston, call your travel agent or Eastern Airlines in Boston or Worcester. Eastern's got the right time and the right place for you.
Boston has scored 49 goals in 10 games in March, John. They're really doing a job, and this was a bruising game for 2 periods. Here's a break. Wensink over the line, bearing in the shot. Save Palmatier. Wensink another chance for a goal. O'Reilly hauled down. Wensink has it to McNabb. Broken up. And Ron Ellis winding up to come out. Gets it off to Stan Weir. Weir off for Ellis. Stolen away by Milbury. He's right back. Stolen by Weir. Williams tried to line up Milbury, missed him. And Turnbull now over to Salming. 11:53 left in the 3rd period. The pass to Williams is offside.
Fred, I would venture to say that this may be one of Don Cherry's most cherished games, really. I think after the game he may say his troops came out here. It was toe-to-toe. They battled the Leafs to a standstill, and now they've taken over in this hockey game. The Leafs are tired. Boston is still going extremely well. Got to be in great shape, and of course that's a tribute to Cherry, keeping him that way. But this was a bruising game and one that Cherry likes to see.
Rattel almost tipped that one home on a deflection of a Rick Smith shot. Middleton pokes it in. Rattel hit by Palmatier, who's mad, and here's a pass in front. Miller can't get the loose puck. Nobody in the net. The shot blocked. Miller a shot. Missed the net. Had missed the open corner. Middleton trying to keep it in. Up for Rattel. To Rick Smith, to Miller, broken up. And Turnbull clears it out. And Palmatier obviously upset. Kind of took a run at John Rattel. And the Bruins had great chances to score while he was moving around. Rick Smith hit by Jones. Turnbull rushes with Boutet. The pass to Boutet, and he scores. A 2-on-1 break. Ian Turnbull set up Pat Boutet. And the Leafs close as Boston leads now 6-3.
Well, Big Ian Turnbull, a fine offensive defenseman, and he knows how to carry the puck and what to do with it. Here's a beautiful play. Watch him fake O'Brien to go down. He gets Graham to commit himself, and then Boutet would like a few of those. Open net, and he just laid it into the open corner as Boutet scores on a beautiful setup by Ian Turnbull. And with 11:05 left to play, 3rd period, Boston out in front 6-3.
9 minutes played here in the 3rd period. Salming clears it up, blocked by Milbury. To Marcotte, to Shepard. Fed in. Jonathan's playing right wing on this line. And Shepard keeps it in to Jonathan for Park. Back for Jonathan. Jonathan, check. Gets it to Marcotte. Marcotte checked in the corner. And the puck goes loose. Salming there. Off on the boards to Butler. Checked by Jonathan and fed in deep. Shepard in. Goes the other corner. Marcotte there. Got it to loose. Boutet knocked down. And it's tied up now for a faceoff. And Jonathan sort of challenging Pellick there. And now the linesmen step in. And nothing comes of it. A break in the action. The score, Boston 6 and Toronto 3. Off for Schmatz, over the line, fires. It's wide. Rebound, Marcotte in front, score! John Riddell! When the Bruins score on TV, you win at the finest. Every time the Bruins score on TV 38, you can win a pair of tickets to a Bruins home game and $25 in gift certificates at the finest. You can even win a vacation for two in sunny San Juan. Enter now at any finest supermarket and watch on TV 38. Score at the finest.
Well, he's not very big, Fred, from the ground up, but they don't measure it with Stan Jonathan on that basis.
Just playing tremendous hockey for the Boston Bruins, Stan Jonathan. Puck kept in by Wensink on the boards now, trying to center it. He's checked. Wilson out there on defense. McNabb has it in front. Rolls to Park. Park can't get the shot away. And Sittler to McDonald. McDonald with Maloney coming up. The shot and the save by Graham. Park has it right back. Hook. Play by Turnbull. They let it go. And Graham makes a big stop on Lanny McDonald. And McCauley let that go. Flagrant hooking, and the fans don't like it. Out comes McNabb over the line, in front to Wensink, in, hit the side of the net. Wensink trying to center it again. It's blocked, and out comes the Leafs, 3-on-2. Sittler to Maloney. Maloney broken up by Park, and the puck back at the line. Kept in by McDonald, stopped by Park, who's been everywhere. O'Reilly off to Wensink, and it's fed in wide of Palmatier. 6-3, the Bruins lead. This is Wilson to Maloney. Broken up on a sweep check by Middleton. He's got a break in. Middleton coming up the right side. Off for Rattel. The shot. He missed the net. Rattel out in front. Drops it, and O'Brien can't get it. It rolls to the Boston end, and Graham comes way out to clear it away. At center ice, Williams with it. Right back, a shot, and Graham ready for it. And Graham covers up. And Middleton with a sweep check on Dan Maloney. And I don't want to downgrade Maloney, but he's given the puck away a couple of times tonight, John.
Well, I got to say this on his behalf, is that it's very tough getting adjusted. He came to Toronto as a muscle man. I haven't seen too much of that tonight, except at the start when he battled O'Reilly. But it's going to take him a while to get adjusted, as it does with almost any player when he changes teams.
And Bob Miller getting Graham a new stick.
Well, I don't know why this wasn't a penalty, and this could have been a very costly play because McDonald came in and picked the puck up. He got a good shot away, almost put it behind Graham, but that was a flagrant violation of hooking.
On the puck, Rattel can't move it out. O'Brien has it. Now to Middleton, who scored his 20th goal. To Miller. Miller checked by Ellis in the corner. And the Bruins' depth very helpful. Let's pause 5 seconds for station identification. This is the Boston Bruins Television Network.
This is TV 38, WSBK-TV, Boston.
I saw Bob Miller playing left wing, which gives him a chance to play a lot of hockey. Has to tonight. The draw back. Rick Smith, screenshot, blocked. With it, Salming. 6-3, the Bruins lead, 8:27 left in the game. Ron Ellis. Now to Salming, up the middle. Off for Pellick. Pellick in deep. The shot deflected high. Miller in the corner. Clears it right out. And this will be icing. In that Minnesota and New York Ranger game, it's 3-2 at the end of one. From Boston Garden, breaking the action, this is the Boston Bruins Television Network.
The Great Ford Drive is really rolling throughout New England. Yes, the better ideas keep coming from your Ford dealer. Thousands of specially ordered 78 Fords. Like this mid-size Fairmont wagon, with about 90% of the passenger space of full-size wagons, and a surprisingly low sticker price. We've got the cars you want. So get on the move during the Great Ford Drive. Get a great buy at your New England Ford dealer now.
That's the time left. The face-off to the left of Graham. Stan Weir against Peter McNabb, who's figured in 4 of the 6 goals with a goal and 3 assists. McNabb gets the draw to Milbury. McNabb, O'Reilly, and Wensink. And Big John has played a fine game with a goal and an assist. At center ice, Park hit. McNabb clears it in. Turnbull back for it. He's on defense with Johansson. Weir, Williams, Ellis the line. Johansson, a long clear out. And the pass up stop by Park, and Toronto was offside. Well, the goal to remember, Terry O'Reilly's. He broke the 2-2 tie. And this one is an offside pass, so the face-off inside the line. O'Reilly, beautiful maneuver to make it 3-2 late in that second period, his 26th of the year. Jones against McNabb. Wensick keeps it in. McNabb checking Turnbull. And behind the net, Wensick rolled it out. O'Reilly with it. Back to Park. Park screen shot, and it's deflected high at the backboards, bouncing. O'Reilly played it back, left point, Milbury. Checked there. And now out comes Ellis with it. Ellis over the line. Jammed up by Park, and Wensick back to flip it out. Milbury. O'Reilly. O'Reilly by Turnbull over the line. And ridden off the puck hard. Out comes Williams. Checked by Shepard. Williams slides it in wide of Graham. Milbury back. 6-3 lead Boston. To O'Reilly. By Pelech. Good break here. To Marcotte. And the pass broken up. Milbury right back. Play broken up. Park with it. Park clears in. A victory would give the Bruins a 5-point lead and still a game on hand over Buffalo. Boutet breaking it out. Jonathan in pursuit. Puck cleared in by Boutet. Graham trying to clear it. Stopped by Salming. Fed back in wide. Ferguson on it. A pass over to the other side. Marcotte there. Checked. Trying to move it out. Salming sweeps it in though. Back for O'Brien. Around the other side, Pelech trying to keep it in. Checked by Jonathan. Hard into the boards. Jonathan's been in a couple of battles. He rattled Sittler. Got a 5-minute major. He was in a later fight with Walker. But then he chipped in with his goal. His 25th of the year. Here in the third period.
They talk about the Bruins being 5 ahead of the Buffalo Sabres. Maybe not quite as important, but still could be a significant factor when it comes to playoff time. Boston would be 4 points ahead of the New York Islanders with 1 game in hand. Having the second best point total in the league when the playoffs start is very important as they get nearer the semifinals and the finals.
And the Islanders upset by the Flames last night in Nassau County Coliseum 5-2. Here it's 6-3 Boston. Puck cleared now by Pelech, icing the signal. In the Ranger game at the end of one, goals by Brad Maxwell, by Talafas, and by Glenn Sharpley. 3 for Minnesota, and for New York, their goals by Walt Kachuk and Ron Greshner. And Rick Smith there, one of the solid factors for the Boston Bruins this year.
And he's got the number, Fred, in his favor.
The Johnny Pearson number, or the Eddie Shack number, which?
Well, Eddie Shack, maybe the Eddie Shack number, but 23.
Had a lot of penalties called by John McCauley, a lot of fighting, a bruising 2 periods, and then the Bruins exploded in the third after O'Reilly had given them a 3-2 lead. Here's Rattel right near the net. Drops it. It bounces to Palmatier, and he's able to tie it up.
The Leafs very disorganized in their own end at this moment. They've been running around a little bit, and of course the Bruins came on with those 3 goals, 4:45 seconds, 3:54, and 5:24 to break it open into a 6-2 lead.
A puck to Lanny McDonald coming up on Rick Smith. Trying to go inside, does. Puck rolls in on Graham. He didn't get a shot. And in the net went Turnbull, the puck out with it. Rattel, the Middleton trying to beat Wilson into the corner. They battle. Down goes Middleton. Good check by Wilson. Miller throws the body, and the puck in front, deflected by Middleton. It went wide. Sittler trying to come out with Maloney. Rick Smith gets it back to Miller. Miller, good shift over the line, the shot, and it's wide. And boy, he made a fine move at the defense. Sittler loses to Rick Smith. Sittler gets it back, loses to Middleton. who can really stick handle. Scored a beautiful goal in close. Drops it for Miller. Miller to Rattel, right in. Fails to get the shot away, but Middleton keeps it in, turns around, and the shot goes wide. The rebound, Milbury fires it in. Palmatier obviously frustrated and angry. You can just see by his motions there as the Leafs clear it away. 3-goal lead for Boston. Milbury gets his own pass up to Rattel, but Wensink now has to start the play again. Park spins away from Ferguson. For O'Reilly, the pass broken up by Salming. And with this break in the action, let's pause for this message.
If they grow up, they forget about the parents.
Why not call him?
What, 40 miles?
Well, after 7, dial yourself. No operator involved. It's only $1.05 for toll calls up to 40 miles away.
Yeah?
For 5 minutes.
You love somebody, so keep in touch. 5-minute call doesn't cost much. Just wait till 7 and man alive, you can call 40 miles for $1.05.
Well, we made contact.
Terrific.
This was close for 2 periods, and a lot of penalties called by referee McCauley. A bruising 2 periods, but the Bruins broke it open with 3 at the start of the third. McNabb, Jonathan, and Middleton. But the big one, Terry O'Reilly's, late in the second period. A brilliant rush up the middle. He beat Palmatier to make it 3-2 at the time. Milbury breaks up this one for O'Reilly. Stopped, and Salming rushes. And Wensink caught him. A good check. Salming trying to move, and Wensink caught him at the line. And O'Reilly banging into Williams. And the puck jammed up. As John Wensink got a pretty good piece of Salming, enough to knock him down, and John has played a fine game, a strong game at left wing. Stay tuned immediately following the game for highlights with Tom Larson, highlights of the game, and scores of other action around the league. Peter McNabb with a goal and 3 assists. O'Reilly has a goal and an assist. He's the leading Bruins point man. He's 8th in the standings in the National Hockey League, is Terry O'Reilly, going into tonight's action. And O'Reilly now has 81 points, which puts him in a tie with Bossy of New York, the rookie, who has 81 points. O'Reilly with his 26th goal, his 35th assist, and we're waiting for play to resume. Don Cherry, well, he'll have his hockey school August 14th, September 1, twin rinks in Danvers, and a lot of the Bruins will be on the faculty, and his brother Dick. I think Dick played more hockey for Boston Bruins than Don Cherry. Don only played 1 game. I think his brother Dick, who came a year or 2 later, is the draw out to Salming. Shot, scores off the faceoff. Salming got that one. The draw to Salming, and he drilled it home with 3:41 left, and it is 6-4.
Borje Salming, a fine all-round defenseman. Some rate him up in the top 4 or 5 in the National Hockey League. He gets a wicked shot away, a good wrist shot, and he beats Graham through a lot of traffic. And you'll see with 3:41 left to play, it's now Boston 6, Toronto 4. Salming as the Leafs won the faceoff.
And the puck now to Milbury, up for Wensink. He's pinned by Walker, and the faceoff called. Salming on the faceoff as Weir got the draw to him, and Weir will get the assist. Here it is.
Well, Salming is a very fine skater, very agile, and he likes to move around, and he moved to the opening and then pulled the trigger, and he just got a good shot away through traffic. Look where Graham was, way out of his net, trying to cut down as much of the angle as he could, but he couldn't do it all, and the Leafs have their 4th goal of the night.
Puck driven in the Leafs zone, and Turnbull starts it away to Sittler. Sittler up the middle. The shot, save Graham. Rebound, Rick Smith. Out to Marcotte with Jonathan. Back for Shepard. Shepard over to Marcotte. Blocked. Marcotte in front. The pass blocked. Salming on it again. Now to Sittler. And Sittler with McDonald and Maloney. McDonald a wrist shot, and Graham the save. Puck in the corner. Around it goes Marcotte trying to move it out, and Shepard does. Ahead. Jonathan's onside. He's got the puck. And he can't beat Palmatier. Tries to drop it in front and can't. Marcotte a drive, and it's blocked by Palmatier. Jonathan was onside, tried to fake around him, and Palmatier just blocked it. Marcotte keeps it in. Now Sittler trying to knock it away, and McDonald gets it out. On a Turnbull, broken up by Shepard. And fed in, and here's Jonathan again, and Palmatier out to smother it. With 2:22 left, the face-off in the Leaf zone. Boston leads 6-4. They had a 6-2 lead, but Boutet from Turnbull and Jones at 8:55. Salming from Weir at 16:19.
Well, Palmatier took a calculated risk, but he lost the battle momentarily. Jonathan had him beat, but he didn't hold the puck long enough. Palmatier just reached with his stick. Of course, that's one of the problems. You want to hold it as long as you can. Jonathan thought he had the open net. He could have held it another second. He would have been all the way by the stick, and the open net was still there.
Butler clears it in the Boston end. Middleton now and Boutet into the corner. And Middleton flips it to Rattel. Rattel ahead, too far ahead of Park. Back for it, Wilson. To Butler, but he handed it right to Park. Now to Miller. Miller clears it in for Rattel. Rattel in deep. Lost it to Wilson. 1:50 left in the game, 6-4 Boston. Boutet broken up by the back checking of Boston, and Miller right back. Gets around Pellick. Has one man to beat. Goes for the shot. Palmatier the save. And Bob Miller lining those shots on the net. And boy, it's going to pay off. He's got 18, but he had a good shot on this one.
Well, here's the value of the good slap shot. When you're this far out, you want to get as much on it as you can and hope. And here's Miller with a drive. Wilson pulls away to give his goaltender Palmatier a better look at it, but Miller almost blasted that one by him.
Boston in front 6-4, 1:38 left. The face-off to the left of Palmatier. Roger Nielsen making some changes. Minnesota 6, the New York Rangers 4, moving into the third period. It's just been posted. Salming a long clear out. McDonald's onside, goes down in the corner, and icing on the play. Beautiful play by Mike Milbury on that one. McDonald had him beaten by a couple of strides, but was going wide to swoop around the puck and get the pass out, and Milbury took the short route.
I think also, too, he might have been a little concerned about Milbury running him into the boards, and so he wanted to come at it at an angle. And he gave Milbury just that little extra second, and that's where body contact and close checking. And Mike Milbury, what a story.
Brad Parks has one of the 8 best defensemen in the league, and Park should know, because if Park isn't first All-Star this year, that'll be a great crime. O'Reilly keeps it in at the line. Now it's knocked away. Milbury pokes it back in. The Leafs get it. Salming to Williams. Fed in behind the net. Milbury can't move it out. McDonald kept it in. A shot right on a save. The rebound by Turnbull, and it goes wide. And that was close. Puck kept in by Wilson. Wilson moves it right in front. Blocked. And not cleared away. McDonald blocked. Now up it goes. Wensick with O'Reilly. 2-on-1. Empty net. O'Reilly looking at the empty net. It is blocked by Salming. They took Palmatier out, and Turnbull back to Sittler. Puck fed in the Boston end. Graham there, trying to clear it around the dasher, but McDonald keeps it in. Extra man on here, and it goes to Williams, to Sittler. A pass in front, blocked, and out of the zone. But a Bruin can't get it. And it's back now to Park. Looking at the empty net, it's pass knocked down by Turnbull. Turnbull fires into the crowd. And with 25 seconds left, Toronto, like the Rangers yesterday, took the goaltender out, trying to get another goal, of course. They needed 2. And the Bruins had a great chance to score, but Salming blocked O'Reilly's bid.
25 seconds left to play in this hockey game, and Boston has jacked up 2 more points. They started the game with 99. They now have 101. And the Buffalo Sabres have 96 as Palmatier has gone back into the goal.
Face off at center ice. 6-4 Boston. Draw to Rick Smith. Fed it into the Leaf end. This will be icing. 17 seconds left. And while Don Cherry will be happy with a victory, a little unhappy with the defensive lapses of the Bruins. More 2-on-1 breaks in tonight's game than in many a game for Boston. And Palmateer is out with 17 seconds left. The face-off to the left of Graham. It is 6-4 in this game, and this third period has not been as close as a 6-4 score would indicate. Sittler on the face-off with Shepard. And Nielsen trying to organize. Sends Maloney out there now.
Well, the last game the Leafs played here was one of those 3-3 ties. Shepard, I believe, scored at 19:58 to tie it up.
Shepard and Sittler on the face-off. The draw back to Rick Smith, and he clears it out. Could be icing, may not. It's curving. It is. Good hustling by Marcotte, but Salming beat him to it, but that consumed 9 seconds. 8 seconds left in the game.
We'll be in Cleveland Tuesday night to face the Bruins, Cleveland Barons, and then back here Thursday night against the Chicago Blackhawks. Both games will be carried on 38.
Face-off between Shepard and Sittler. And 8 seconds left in the game. Shepard gets it again. Rick Smith clears it out. Salming drove it back in, and he's bumped by Shepard. And Jonathan moves right in on McDonald with 4 seconds left. It's been a bruising game, as the penalties indicate. A lot of battles starting right after 19 seconds. And 4 seconds left in the game. It would be nice if they could just wind this up now. McCauley is saying something to Jonathan. All right, Jonathan's been battling everybody and scoring goals at a sizzling pace in the month of March. He got a big one tonight. His 25th of the year. Had opportunities for others.
And Peter McNabb picked the puck up and gave it to him. I don't know what's significant about it other than the fact that that may be a milestone in terms of numbers of goals scored for the season. Sometimes players look for
bonus,
certain amounts. Yeah, right.
25 goals for Stan Jonathan on a year is excellent work with his fine defensive play. Johansson's shot blocked, and the game is over. And the Bruins post the victory as they salute Ron Graham. And Boston moves 5 points ahead of Buffalo in the Adams division with a game in hand. Scored the finest with the Bruins in the third period tonight. The Bruins scored 3 goals, and Shirley M. Belvinus of Auburn, Massachusetts, Ann Woodman of Quincy, Massachusetts, and Roy R. Cook of Lynn, Massachusetts are winners of 2 tickets to a future Bruins game, plus a $25 food certificate from the finest. Enter now at your finest supermarket and score with the Bruins. The final, Boston 6, the Maple Leafs 4. We'll be back with the summary in just a minute.
The official Bruins Yearbook is available at the Bruins Sports Shop in North Station, or write Bruins Yearbook, P.O. Box 8725, Boston, Mass. 02114. Please enclose $3 for book and handling.
Hello?
Norton, where's the package, Morton?
Next time, send it Federal Express.
I'm a professional stunt driver. The cars I choose for my most dangerous work are Fiats. Sometimes I make a slight mistake in timing and the stunt fails. So I try again. We flush the 131 engine and put in new spark plugs, and I am ready. You see, I believe in myself. I believe in Fiats.
During March, you can get special deals on the incredible 131 at many Fiat dealers.
Kennedy's, the first sale of spring. 20 to 30% off on new spring fashions. The lowest prices of the season. Gather the savings while you may at all Kennedy stores.
The Schlitz Most Valuable Player Award tonight goes to Peter McNabb.
And remember, when watching Bruins hockey, keep plenty of good cold Schlitz Light handy. It took Schlitz to bring the taste to life. Shots on goal, third period, Toronto 9, Boston 13. Toronto at 22, Boston at 32. John, big victory for the Bruins in a very bruising game.
Well, it was a very, very tough game, Fred, and a great weekend for Boston, getting a total of 4 points out of a possible 4. They now have a little cushion ahead of the Buffalo Sabres, and also they've gained some ground on the New York Islanders, which is also an encouraging thing. I said at the top of the thing, as Darryl Sittler goes, so goes the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I thought that the Bruins did an extremely good job on the high-scoring center. They stalled him down most of the night. He only got 1 assist, and when you can do that with Sittler's line, you can beat the Leafs, I think, rather easily. But Boston defensemen did a very good job of playing the body, and they took Sittler and McDonald out at any opportunity, and that slowed the Leaf attack a little bit. But it was the tough going early that really gave the Leafs the problem later on as Boston stormed it in the third period.
So a big win for the Boston Bruins. 2 big wins on the weekend. They continue their mad March pace. Tom Larson has the highlights ready for you. The final score, Boston 6 and Toronto 4. This is the Boston Bruins Hockey Television Network. Tonight's game has been brought to you in part by Schlitz Beer. If you don't have Schlitz, you don't have gusto. And by the Yellow Pages, who say an ad in the yellow puts business in the black. And now Bruins hockey continues with Tom Larson.
Thank you, Fred. The Bruins, with the win tonight, have become the first National Hockey League club to total more than 100 points. That is, first team other than the Montreal Canadiens, of course. They have 11 games left to play. And if they can pick up 16 points out of a possible 22 remaining for them, that would clinch the Adams Division Championship. Even if Buffalo would win all 10 of their remaining games, they wouldn't be able to total enough points to eclipse the Bruins at that point. So the magic number right now is 16, and that is about the pace, 16 points out of 22 that the Bruins have been playing at all year long. They have a total of 11 games left. 5 of those will be on the road, 6 at home. They have 2 against Montreal, 1 against Buffalo, 1 against the New York Islanders, and 1 more against the Toronto Maple Leafs, which will be up there the next time. Final score tonight was 6-4. Bruins over Toronto. We'll be back and check the highlights after this.
Let the good years roll. Rolling, rolling across the USA. Goodyear tires are rolling, rolling right your way. So come on, America, and let the good years roll.
Here they are, America. Goodyear Custom Power Cushion Polyglass White Wall Tires. On sale at 20% off regular price. Get Goodyear's most popular double-belted tire now and save 20% through Saturday night.
Come on, America, and let the good years roll.
The Harley-Davidson Freedom Center, North Billerica, home of the world's fastest Pro Stock Harley-Davidson, where you'll find the new lowrider, mag wheels, dual disc brakes, and a seat only 27 inches off the ground. The 75th Anniversary Sportster in electric line, sleek black beauties with gold anodized wheels and pinstriping, and the new dual-seat Cafe Racer, 1,000 cc's of V-twin Thunder, and a parts and service department that is unsurpassed. On Route 3A, North Billerica, Mass., the Harley-Davidson Freedom Center. Come on in. According to a recent survey, 64% of Americans get most of their information about what's going on in the world from television. So it's no wonder that viewers are expressing increasing interest in broadcast operations. Joe Domino, General Manager of TV 38, answers viewers' questions about TV 38 and the television industry in general every Sunday night at 10 on Ask the Manager. If you have a question you'd like answered, write to Ask the Manager, 83 Birmingham Parkway, Brighton, Mass. And tune in Sunday night at 10.
There was the opportunity tonight for the Bruins to go 5 points up on the idle Buffalo Sabres, but it would be tough because the opposition was the Toronto Maple Leafs. And although the Bruins were 3-0-1 against the Leafs this year, they certainly had not dominated the Leafs. Toronto also had a new man on the ice this evening, Dan Maloney, who had come over from Detroit just recently, and it took all of 19 seconds for him to make his presence known.
And O'Reilly was hit by Glennie as the puck goes in, and here's O'Reilly and Maloney going at it again, right away. Maloney and O'Reilly flailing away at each other.
Call obviously was 5 minutes for fighting, as O'Reilly and Maloney had said their hellos for the evening. Toronto's Dave Williams and the Bruins' Dennis O'Brien got all jammed up less than a minute later, but it wasn't much to talk about. The Leafs then used up a power play between the 3 and 5 minute marks, and the game was about 6 minutes old before either club managed a bona fide scoring threat.
Flips it for Jonathan. He has to go to the corner deep. Jonathan wheeling. Gets it to Rattel. Quick shot. Save. Palmatier. Best chance of the game. Centering pass. Bounces Sims. Right defense. A screen shot deflected wide.
That was the first serious scoring threat by either team, despite a power play chance each, and it came a full 6 minutes from the opening faceoff. It was at that point, though, that the Bruins got the offense functioning.
Park. Up for Shepard. Shepard plays it in. Cashman moving in on Maloney, but it ricochets to Shepard. Wheels for a shot that misses. Milbury left side keeps it in. Fires it. Scores! Dane Cashman! Deflected at home with his back to the net. And Mike Milbury fired across in front. And Wayne Cashman gets his 18th goal of the year.
Well, a beautiful play set up here by Greg Shepard as he banked it off the boards back of the net. Now here's Milbury, who makes a fine play, centering it out in front. Watch Cashman. He's almost in the goal crease, but Salming is on top of him, and he just managed to scoop it back.
That was Cashman from Milbury and Shepard at 7:59, and a 1-0 Boston lead there. Cashman's one of a bunch of Bruins who have shots at 20-goal seasons, and that was number 18. John Wensink is in that group, too. And barely a minute later, Wensink ran his season total to 15.
And McNabb fires in. Wensink trying to get it. Gets it over to O'Reilly. O'Reilly back for Park. Park fires. It rolls in front. Loose. Shot to score by John Wensink. John Wensink on a turnaround shot in front after Brad Park's drive from the point was stopped. And Wensink makes it 2-0.
Well, Boston has been able to apply all kinds of pressure on the Leafs since almost the opening gun. And here's Wensink perfectly positioned in front. He picked up a loose puck.
Well, the game had already seen 2 fights before half of the first period had gone by. There was another one involving Darryl Sittler and Stan Jonathan. That happened at 11:17. Jonathan got a cut and 5 minutes for fighting. Sittler got just 2 minutes, and Brian Glennie a game misconduct. All that was at 11:17. The first Toronto goal of the night then was scored a minute and 4 seconds later.
A man advantage, and we'll have a 3-minute power play. That's a major. Here's a break now, 2-on-1. Weir with O'Brien back alone, Turnbull there, and the pass in front. Block, score! Weir rolls it in the corner as Stan Weir gets the score for Toronto, and that makes it 2-1.
Well, not a good goal to have scored against the Bruins while they face the 3-minute man disadvantage situation. Here's Weir with a good individual effort, using number 2 Turnbull as a partial screen on O'Brien, and he cut right in front, and that puck eluded Graham.
That was Weir from Ellis and Pellick at 12:21. That brought the Leafs within 1 at 2-1. When Sittler finished his 2 minutes for roughing, that dated back to the altercation with Jonathan. The Leafs had a 3-minute power play operating. Nothing came of that, and nothing on a Boston chance that resulted from Darryl Sittler's hooking call at 15:52. So at the end of the first period tonight, the Bruins led the Leafs 2-1.
This gas nozzle is for unleaded gas. Fits any car. This one is for the less expensive regular. See, they make the regular gas nozzles bigger because a lot of economy cars can't take regular gas. So when you try to put regular into a Toyota, it just won't go. Regular gas won't go into a Chevette or a Pinto either. But when you try to put regular gas into a Subaru, it's a perfect fit.
Aaron's. More than a name, it's a promise. Aaron's. In winter, Aaron's. Aaron's throws snow. In spring, Aaron's. Aaron's prepares the rose, plants. In summer, Aaron's. Aaron's mows grass. In fall, Aaron's. Aaron's vacuums leaves. Aaron's promise. A cut above the rest.
I'm Tom Russell, reminding you that the new Big Money game gives you a new $1 million TV game every week, and you could get your chance at $1 million by matching just 1 digit. That's what June Lewis of Wendell Depot did. On February 22nd, just 3 weeks after the start of the new game, she became our first new big money game millionaire. She won $50,000 a year for 20 years. You could win, too. Just play the new big money game with a new $1 million game every week.
There's more time for special times when you do a little better with your money. So, put your money where you do a little better, in a savings bank. 4 million savers in Massachusetts already do, and they have the good times to prove it.
That's why you do a little better at a savings bank.
14 seconds into tonight's second period, Mike Milbury was called for interference, and the Leafs used the extra man to tie the hockey game at 2-2.
Blocked by Graham, trying to clear it himself. Kept in by Samin. Now to Sittler. Sittler in front, score! Lanny McDonald just like that. As McDonald got in position, Sittler set him up in front. And a power play goal by McDonald ties the game at 2.
Well, the Toronto Maple Leafs worked the Bruins in a position where they came out of that box. Now watch McDonald move into the place where a defenseman should be. Right here, that's Rick Smith in the corner. Now McDonald should have been covered by that box formation. The Bruins were out of it.
The 2-0 lead that the Bruins had once enjoyed had disappeared into a 2-2 tie on the power play goal by Lanny McDonald from Sittler and Salming. There were 33 minutes in penalties that were called in the first period tonight, plus a game misconduct. There were 3 fights. For the Bruins, Stan Jonathan especially was in a most pugnacious frame of mind this evening. Not long after McDonald had tied it, Jonathan got involved in his second bout of the night. This time, it was with Kurt Walker.
They're going at it. Jonathan trying to throw. Walker throws some good lefts. And Jonathan gets him down with that body lift, and the linesman atop the 2.
So with the game only about 22 minutes old, there had been 4 goals scored, and there had been 4 fights. At 12:45, Cashman and Pat Boutet of the Leafs got involved in a stick-swinging thing. That sent Cashman out of the game for a gross misconduct. It left the Bruins, though, with a power play chance, which produced nothing. Watch Graham's stop then late in the period. This is a 2-on-1 Toronto scoring bid.
Fires, save, short side save. Puck knocked out, and to Sittler, 2-on-1 with Maloney. Sittler over the line, off for Maloney. Maloney right back, save, a beauty by Graham. And Milbury clears.
But for the most part, the game had been marred by the recurring sight of hockey players pulling, tugging, hugging, and hitting other hockey players. It took Terry O'Reilly later on in the second period to remind us that it was hockey that we were watching.
A breakout for Boston. Winsick coming up on the left side. McNabb has to wind up again, gives it off to O'Reilly. He's up the middle, over the line, he's in. He scores! Terry O'Reilly! A brilliant rush up the middle, between the defense. Drew Palmatier out, and O'Reilly gives Boston a 3-2 lead.
Well, this is the hockey player, number 24, Terry O'Reilly, catches the youngster, Johansson. No experience, but this is a magnificent play. He gets Palmatier to commit himself and then draws it to the side on the backhand and flips it home.
Pretty goal by Terry O'Reilly. 26th of the season, put the Bruins back up by 1 at the end of 2.
Come on! Come on! Come on, come on, come on and taste the fancy way. Come on, come on, come on and have a fancy day. You're on the trail of something great. Today was made to celebrate. Come on and have a fancy day. Fancy generation. Have a fancy day.
My name is Remy Julien. My stunt team and I do this for a living. People say we must be very lucky. It is not luck. It is engineering and mathematics. In addition, I choose my cars carefully. They must be durable and very reliable, and they must be Fiats. Then, so nothing is left to chance, I carry a rabbit's foot.
During March, you can get special deals on the incredible 131 at many Fiat dealers.
At Kennedy's, the first sale of spring. 20 to 30% off on new spring fashions. The lowest prices of the season. Gather the savings while you may at all Kennedy stores.
It's that time of the year when McDonald's is serving Shamrock Shakes. Take one sip and a little luck of the Irish could come your way.
Come try our Shamrock Shakes now. There's something fun. Good luck may come your way now. They're frosty, triple thick and green. Give one a try. A little Irish luck is easy to come by at McDonald's. Shamrock Shakes, we do it all for you.
Here's to good luck.
There was a time in this game when the Bruins had led Toronto by 2 goals. That was back in the first period, but the Leafs then came back to tie it. The Bruins were operating with a 1-goal lead now at the start of the third period. Less than a minute had gone by when Peter McNabb, with help particularly from John Wensink, ran that lead back to 2 goals.
McNabb breaks it out. Milbury is up and off to Wensink, breaking in. The shot. Save Palmateer. Wensink fights for the rebound. In front, McNabb scores! Peter McNabb from John Wensink as the big glove swinger made a heavy shot on Palmateer, got the rebound, and McNabb's 35th of the year makes it 4-2.
Well, the good pass here by McNabb starts the confusion right here in the Toronto end. A big stop by Palmateer, but the Toronto Maple Leafs are running around. And watch McNabb right in front. And he farted underneath Palmateer.
It's a good night for Peter McNabb, who had been involved in 3 of the 4 goals to that point for the Bruins. He had assisted on numbers 2 and 3 and had scored number 4. He was also mixed up in the 5th one, which was scored by Stan Jonathan.
Over the line, moving, the shot, scores! Stan Jonathan barreling in. He's had fights, he's had battles, and he's in a scoring streak. His 9th goal in the month of March, and Jonathan makes it 5-2.
Well, Stan Jonathan with a half wrist, half slap. Now you'll notice how short he takes the backswing on the slap shot. That's sort of a half wrist, half slap shot, and he just whistled it by Palmateer, actually.
With those 2 quick goals then to start the third period, the Bruins had taken control of the hockey game. They had established a 3-goal lead. A close hockey game had suddenly turned into something that resembled a rout.
Battling all through the first 2 periods has not worn the Leafs down a little bit, Fred. Boston seems to be now taking charge.
And Rattel off for Middleton. He's in. Scores! Rick Middleton from John Rattel. As Rattel got the faceoff over to him. And Rick Middleton gets number 20 for him to make it 6-2.
Well, this is the goal scorer in Rick Middleton. A nice pass by Rattel, but watch when Palmateer goes down. Rick Middleton pulls the trigger and goes upstairs. Now, that's a great play.
Middleton thus became the 6th member of this Boston Bruins hockey club to score 20 goals. There are several others lined up, ready to be added to that list before the close of the regular season. One of those Bruins is Bob Miller, who had some chances in this piece of action.
Shot. Middleton pokes it in. Rattel hit by Palmateer, who is mad. And here's a pass in front. Miller can't get the loose puck. Nobody in the net. The shot blocked. Miller a shot. Missed the net. Had missed the open corner.
That could well have been the 7th goal for the Bruins, but didn't work out that way, despite a number of good chances on Palmateer. A game that had been tied at 2 at one point had turned into a runaway now by 3 quick Boston goals in the third period. The Leafs then got one of their own to make it 6-3.
Rick Smith hit by Jones. Turnbull rushes with Boutet. The pass to Boutet, and he scores. A 2-on-1 break. Ian Turnbull set up Pat Boutet.
But it was clear that the Bruins were on their way to opening a 5-point lead in the Adams division over Buffalo with the win over the Leafs. Tonight it was now little more than a matter of playing out the remaining minutes to settle on the final score.
And his brother Dick. I think Dick played more hockey for Boston Bruins than Don Cherry. Don only played 1 game. I think his brother Dick, who came a year or 2 later, is the draw out to Salming. Shot, scores off the faceoff. Salming got that one. The draw to Salming, and he drilled it home with 3:41 left. And it is 6-4.
Which, of course, was the final score. The Bruins haven't lost a game at Boston Garden now in their last 11. In fact, a notable number 2 is that over the last 10 seasons, the Leafs have won just 1 game out of 31 that they have played at the Garden. Tonight's final score, Boston 6, Toronto 4.
Is Gillette Foamy thick and rich enough to stop this super sports car? No. Is Foamy thick and rich enough to support this lovely lady? No. Is Foamy thick and rich enough to hold up this husky hiker?
No. But if you want a clean, close shave, it's more than thick and rich enough.